Howdy, I'm Jason Marino, and I want to talk to you a little bit about worship. Now, for those who follow the Christian scriptures, there's this passage in Revelation, the 21st chapter, and it talks about the New Jerusalem. Now, the New Jerusalem is this recreated earth in the hereafter, and it's talking about what it is to be living life with God. Now, this New Jerusalem is meant to be perfect in every way, and Christ is among his people. But what's interesting about the passage is that the passage does not have a temple. Now, for those who know about the history that went into the first century AD of the Jewish people following the time of the return from exile and what had happened under Roman domination, it's important to know that the temple was this stronghold, this place that the Jewish people could call their own. It was something that they viewed as their church. It was their safe place. It was their abode. Even in the midst of an occupation, they couldn't seem to stop. Now, in this particular passage, though, keep in mind that they deliberately omitted the temple. Now, with that, though, what's important to notice is why. Why is it that they would leave out this very important religious and social institution of the people? What's important to know about the temple, though, is that the temple was seen now as lived out in the life of Jesus. Worship was lived out through the life of Jesus. Worship was thereafter meant to be lived out through the lives of the people. Now, the reason why I'm pointing this out is because oftentimes religion, faith, worship are seen as things that are connected with an institution, connected with a building, a thing that we call church. Now, I'm not the first to say this, and I won't be the last to say this, but we have to separate that thinking. We have to disconnect the two as being completely synonymous. It doesn't mean that worship cannot happen at a church, and it's a great place to do worship, but we need to see worship in a larger aspect. We need to understand that worship is something that is about our life. How is it that every aspect of our life can be completely and totally about dedication to who God is and lived out as a testimony to that very same God? So, in the Christian faith, there's this belief that Jesus has died and risen again and given people new life. The question is then, how is that life lived? What does it mean to have a job that you go to following Christ? What does it mean to go to the supermarket, to have friends, to go to a party, to have hobbies, to breathe and to exercise as a follower of Jesus? What does it mean that every single part of who you are, of who we are, is worshiped unto God? That is where it is that we need to be moving forward to, because each aspect of what we'll be looking at in this series is a way of transforming every part of our life into worship unto God. And that is where we're going to be moving forward.